Most CFOs view the board of directors as a quarterly obligation, but the best CFOs see it as a powerful resource and a governance backstop. This video explores how top CFOs leverage this vital relationship. We will cover 9 key topics: why the board relationship matters, board structure and committees, a deep dive into the audit committee, CFO reporting obligations, and how to present to the board. Additionally, we'll discuss building board relationships, managing difficult dynamics, the CFO as a board resource, and addressing situations when the board itself presents a problem. The first section focuses on why the board relationship matters. The CFO has more to gain from the board than any other C-suite executive, making this a critical relationship to cultivate. The board should be viewed as a resource, not an audience. It offers governance authority, a strategic sounding board with cross-industry experience, independent oversight, capital market credibility, and serves as a vital risk management partner and crisis backstop. The board relies on the CFO for financial intelligence about the company. This requires accuracy, completeness, and clarity in financial data. They need context, early warnings about risks, independence, a forward view, and an honest assessment of the business. Next, we examine board structure and committees. Understanding who you are presenting to and what each group needs is essential for effective engagement. Board composition includes independent, executive, and nominee directors, plus the chair of the board and the lead independent director. Each role brings a unique perspective, and the CFO must tailor communication to address all of them. The 4 main board committees, audit, compensation, nominating and governance, and risk, each have a distinct mandate and relationship with the CFO. The audit committee relationship is paramount, but all 4 require attention. Should the CFO be on the board? Arguments in favor include gaining voting rights and credibility. Arguments against focus on potential conflicts of interest and reduced board independence. Typically, the audit committee access suffices. Our third section is a deep dive into the audit committee. This is the CFO's most important board relationship, and we explore it inside and out. The audit committee's mandate includes oversight of financial reporting, the external audit, internal controls, risk oversight, and compliance and ethics. The CFO must be prepared to lead conversations on all these critical areas. The CFO and Audit Committee follow an annual rhythm of quarterly meetings with distinct agendas. Key topics range from financial statements and auditor independence in Q1 to internal audit findings and risk assessment in Q4. Proactive communication between meetings is vital. The external auditor relationship is managed by the CFO, but reports to the board. Independence is non-negotiable. Early alignment on accounting saves time. Disagreements must be technical and formally documented. Management letters should be utilized, and auditor rotation is important for freshness. Section 4 covers CFO reporting obligations. We will review what the CFO is legally required to present and discuss how to move beyond basic compliance. Statutory reporting requirements for public company CFOs include quarterly and annual financial statements, MD&A narratives, internal control assessments, earnings guidance, and material event disclosures. Simply meeting these obligations is the minimum. The best CFOs treat these as opportunities to leverage the board relationship. Moving beyond compliance, great CFOs add value. For instance, revenue results should include market share context and variance analysis. Cash flow reporting should feature liquidity forecasts and covenant sensitivity analysis. Risk registers should quantify the top 3 risks in dollar terms with specific mitigation actions. Next, we focus on how to present to the board. Every word in a board video is weighed, so make it count by being concise and value-driven. The recommended CFO presentation framework targets a tight 30 minutes. It starts with a 2-minute executive summary, followed by financial results, business commentary, outlook and forecast, risk update, and finishes with items for decision. Keep each section timely and focused. The board pack design principles emphasize preparing the document for the reader. Do send it 5 to 7 days prior, and lead every section with the conclusion. Don't create a 200-page pack or bury bad news in footnotes, as this damages trust. Handling board Q&A requires professional preparation. Be ready for questions like what keeps you up at night, with an honest risk assessment, and address resource conversations with prioritized plans. Never deflect or give answers signaling overconfident. When presenting bad news, follow 5 steps. Lead immediately with the fact. Quantify completely. Own the analysis. Present a specific response plan. and clearly state what you need from the board. Never let the board be surprised. Section 6 is about building board relationships. The work that happens between meetings is as important as the meeting itself for establishing credibility. The most powerful relationship building is through director one-on-one engagement. Meet individually for 30 minutes between meetings, discussing their concerns and industry perspectives. Do not discuss selective non-public information. CFOs build board trust over time through consistency, early disclosure of bad news, meticulous follow-through on commitments, intellectual honesty, technical mastery, brevity, and adhering to the rule of no surprises. The best CFOs view the board as an intellectual resource. Leverage their expertise in capital markets, industry networks, crisis management, regulatory intelligence, and governance best practice to enhance management decision-making. Our 7th section covers managing difficult board dynamics. Preparation and composure are your best tools for navigating challenging board interactions. Prepare for common types of difficult directors, such as the micromanager, the former CFO, and the skeptic. Address their patterns proactively. Offer appendices to micromanagers, cite current standards to former CFOs, and anticipate challenges from skeptics. When the board disagrees with management, the CFO's role is to provide facts objectively. If the board wants more information, commit to a delivery date. If the strategy is challenged, present assumptions transparently. Never publicly take sides in a conflict between the CEO and the board. Activist directors require special handling. Expect deep financial scrutiny. Engage proactively in one-on-one meetings, but do not become an activist ally. Document every exchange and stay CEO aligned unless there is a governance red line. Finally, we focus on the CFO as a board resource. This shift from merely reporting to collaborating with the board defines a truly great CFO. The CFO who sees themselves as a board resource rather than a reporter operates at a higher level. This involves providing financial education to new directors, delivering robust scenario planning beyond the base case, offering input on capital allocation frameworks, sharing external market intelligence, improving governance quality proactively, and ensuring crisis preparedness. In strategic discussions, the CFO grounds the conversation financially. They act as a financial stress tester by modeling implications in real time, challenging strategic assumptions, presenting multiple scenarios, providing capital allocation frameworks, and anchoring strategy to a financial timeline. ESG reporting is increasingly becoming a core CFO function because these metrics now have direct P&L and balance sheet implications. The board requires financially material ESG targets, risk analysis, and regulatory compliance updates. Key risks for the CFO include greenwashing exposure and failing to quantify ESG risks financially. Next, we address a critical topic: what to do when the board itself becomes the problem, or when governance fails at the top. Signs of a dysfunctional board include CEO capture, where the board rubber stamps decisions, or a competence gap, where directors cannot challenge management effectively. Other indicators are information asymmetry, overlap between the chair and CEO roles, poor engagement, and conflicts of interest. When governance fails, the CFO has options. You can strengthen information provision to the board, build individual director relationships, and formally utilize the audit committee channel. If necessary, engage the chair directly and document material governance failures. In extreme cases, if you cannot certify financial reports in good conscience, resignation may be the only ethical option. Most companies conduct board evaluations, and the CFO's input is critical. Your perspective should assess financial literacy, meeting quality, information quality, audit committee rigor, risk oversight, and whether independent directors exercise genuine independence. This slide provides a self-assessment to rate your board relationship on several key dimensions: access, preparation, information, relationships, early warning, and board value. Use this tool to identify areas needing the most immediate attention. Let's review 3 real-world scenarios. Situation A. If the audit committee chair calls you directly about an undisclosed acquisition, inform the chair you will arrange a briefing with the CEO. Situation B. If a director challenges your accounting, offer to review it later with the auditors present. Situation C. If the board is about to approve a flawed project, request to present a brief financial summary showing the management's full range of scenarios before the vote. Here are 10 rapid-fire principles. Never surprise the board. Prioritize the audit committee, led with conclusions in your reports, and build relationships between meetings. Use the board's expertise, remember bad news early is a gift, and ensure your assessment is independent. Also, document material concerns, value brevity, and remember that governance is ultimately your business. The 5 key takeaways from this video are: treat the board as a resource, prioritize the audit committee relationship, never surprise the board, build individual relationships between meetings, and always go beyond compliance in your presentations to add tangible value. To help you manage the board effectively, here is a template for the CFO's annual board engagement calendar, broken down by quarter. It includes essential topics like audited financials, risk review, budget approval, and one-on-one director engagements. Adapt this to your specific company schedule. Before your next meeting, review this pre-board meeting checklist. Ensure your board pack is sent early, the executive summary is concise, bad news is front-loaded, and all numbers are cross-referenced. Be prepared for uncomfortable questions and know each director's focus. Here are 3 actions to take this week. First, run the self-assessment on slide 38. Second, schedule a one-on-one with a director, especially the audit committee chair, if overdue. Third, enhance one section of your next board pack by adding strategic value beyond mere compliance. The CFO who masters the board relationship doesn't just survive governance, they make the whole company stronger. Thank you for viewing this video in the CFO Masterclass series.